Before we start the show Beautiful People Connect, our community invites you to take a quick second to subscribe to our channel by clicking below. You will be able to get notices and be the first to see our new content. As a subscriber to our channel and community, we invite you to like and share our content with your family, friends, and colleagues. Welcome to the Beautiful People Rise Up channel, and most of all, thank you for joining us. Now let the show begin. People at beautiful people, where my beautiful people at beautiful people, where my beautiful people at beautiful people, where my beautiful people at. Welcome to Beautiful People Connect, where we connect beautiful people who are making a positive difference in the world directly to you. I am Chastity Wright, CEO and founder of nonprofit 501c3 organization, Beautiful People Rise Up, Inc., and the co-host of Beautiful People Connect with Yama Fleming of Inspire Me Yama. Our new theme is the story, the rise, the prize. Beautiful People Connect is sponsored by Creator Entertainment, LLC, Beautiful People Rise Up, Inc., and Inspire Me Yama, LLC. Coming up next, you will hear the motivational and powerful voice of co-host Yama Fleming. Yama?
Oh, thank you so much, Chastity, for that awesome introduction. You are just one amazing woman. Time and time again, you are steadfast, true, strong, and so positive. Thank you so much for allowing me to be co-host with you. It is truly, truly, truly a blessing. One of the things that we like to do at the beginning of the show is set the atmosphere. We want to start off by speaking and celebrating all of the greatness of who you are. Listen, we truly believe that you are not here by accident or happenstance. It was predestined. And we want to verbally agree with you about who you are. When you understand the mighty power that is within us and the glow that we stamp upon the universe, we become unstoppable. As we declare these truths, please know the facts stand when everything else falls. So with that being said, let me start with saying, without a shadow of a doubt, you are amazing. You are wonderful. You are great at everything that you put your mind to do. You are unstoppable. You are creative. You are strong and you are mighty. You are powerful. You were born to win because winning, it is in your DNA. You are in a constant motion of victory. You move like the kings and queens that you are. Your joy comes from on high, so therefore your mindset stays elevated. You walk in the anointing of nothing missing and nothing lacking. You impact lives with your gift daily. You motivate others because you are motivated. The sun shines brighter because you are here. The world, it is a better place because you are here. There is no doubt that you are a boss on top of your game, and success will be your forever story. Never forget and never ever doubt that you are a king's kid, royalty, and everything about you screams, I am a winner. I'm going to turn it over to Chastity. Thank you so much for listening to and joining in with us tonight. We are super excited about our guest. So I'm going to turn it over to Chastity so we can go ahead and get started.
Thank you so much, Yama, for that amazing and powerful charge. You always motivate me, and thank you for the compliments that you gave me. It is such an honor and pleasure to serve with you, to co-host this show. You know I love you. You're my sister, and we're just working on our mission and purpose together. So together we will continue to rise. Now, before we introduce our special guest tonight, I want to share with you the history of Beautiful People Rise Up, Inc. Our history. Beautiful People Rise Up, Inc. was established in 2020 during the global pandemic. The concept was inspired by the new single, Beautiful People, by me, recording artist Chastity of Creator Entertainment Records. Although BPRU, Inc. is a newly established nonprofit 501c3 organization, our team has worked for over 40 years combined, serving others using our gifts, talents, abilities, and personal resources to impact individuals, communities, and corporate businesses. Our mission is to create innovative, positive content and experiences through our services, productions, events, entertainment, and media that elevates and motivates people to become productive assets to their local, national, and global communities. Our vision is to create a beautiful world where diverse people rise up together and share their unique gifts, talents, and influence to make the world a better place. Our motto is "We honor humanity." Our tagline is "Aim higher." That is action, inspiration, motivation higher. Our slogan is "Connect, charge, and let's rise up to light the world together." Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to present to you our special guest today. This woman of faith is an evangelist, a pioneer, and an advocate for the people. She has dedicated years of service to developing people and providing programs to strengthen the family unit in her community and abroad. She is continuously being recognized nationally and in her local community for her unwavering service for the people. Without further ado, I would like to welcome to Beautiful People Connect, Evangelist Rosie Watkins. Evangelist Rosie Watkins, how are you today?
Well, I am so full and excited to be here, and I count it a privilege and an honor to be part of this show today. And I'm laughing because the introduction that you just had. Well, 2 weeks ago, the Kentucky Derby horse won and did an upset, and I watched it, and I'm excited that knowing that you're a winner, looking at winner people. But then it's like, how they find me? How did they find me? I'm still trying to suck it in. How did y'all find me? I'm in rural Georgia, way down and where the cotton fields still grow. And
wow.
And to meet other peoples in the world, it's just exciting just to be here and knowing that God got me here for such a time as this.
Yes, ma'am. Well, we just want to thank you again for joining Beautiful People Connect to share your story, your rise, and your prize with our viewers. So I like to jump right in because I'm so excited to share you, your person, and who you are and what you've done for your community with our viewers. So can you tell us, who is Evangelist Rosie Watkins and what is your life's mission and purpose?
Evangelist Watkins is a person that is me. I call me. And I'm the fourth of brothers. I'm the fourth of 30 brothers and sisters raised in the same house. I'm the mother of 5 children and the grandmother of 17 and a great grandmother of 14. And I always felt like something about me was different. And it was almost like I never understood the world. I never understood everything because I came from the cotton field. And they say anything that comes from the cotton field, and I'm born in the boot heel. So I was missing out on a lot of knowledge and information to help me to understand my surrounding. And I never thought that I was nothing because no one told me anything different. I never saw anything else, never saw a certain thing. But I always knew that there was something about me because I was raised up in a small town with a lot of children, and I'm always fighting and defending the underdog. I'm defending and jumping. And you said this about my mom and my dad, I'm ready to fight. And like I'm always got to be in charge of taking care of somebody. And that's what my life is, taking care of and got involved in what I'm doing. And then when I had 5 children, I said, when I leave home, I don't want to see another child. I want to see another children. And then by the time 25, I'm sitting there with 5 children. And then the Lord started from there, and someone invited me to come to church because life was kind of hard. I didn't understand a lot of things, but I ended up going to church. And the Black church to me is a savior of a lot of souls that's coming from the streets, don't know anything, but I ended up in a Black church. And I said Black church because it was a Black church. It was not a white church, not being Black or white issue, but it was like that where I finally met God, and they introduced me to God and introduced me to another lifestyle that I never known before. And I kind of liked that lifestyle. And I took my children and we filled the pew. And then we filled the pew. And then I found out that I like to talk and I like to explain things and began to read the Bible. And then my children, we love the stories. And when we go to church, I went to a church that believed in a lot of shouting and dancing. And a lot of all of that. So we got to shout. When the church shouted, all of them shouted, and looked over there. And then all of my children didn't even know that they are destiny, because those children, I'm 73 now, and they help me now. They've been right there helping me, educating one another. But the piece that I needed was God, to understand that God loves everybody. and he reaches out and he makes up the difference. And there was things that we don't have, he's there to give us. You can't get it by yourself. And he always shocks me, because I said, I could never today, if I'd have known today that what I was doing today, that I would be there when at the beginning, when I went in there with my 5 babies, I felt like a loser, but I wasn't a loser. I just didn't know nothing. And I was missing a lot of things we were missing that we're doing. So in other words, I had to sort of go back and feel sorry. But with God, the good news came and made me feel happy and glad. And I've been glad ever since. People say, what kind of drugs are you on? You just be glad all the time. And I said, well, what happened was I was introduced to the good news. And the good news, and I read the Bible, and I saw good news. I didn't see evil, so I saw good news. And we would tell Bible stories, and the kids got into Sunday school, they got into the church, and my children just got to meeting other Christian children, other workers, and it was just like one big family. And I always looked at, I gotta be, this is a society that people don't really understand what kind of society that the church bring in the community for a lot of women just like myself. And but when I came there and I got there and I grew, and after I did so good, so I became a minister. They gave me a little minister license. I'm ready to go now. But we got minister license and teaching Sunday school. And then my children was my first Sunday school class. And I guess there was one that said, we sure need some more children in here besides us. But anyway, my life started from that beacon of life with good news from the gospel. And it led me all the way to where I'm at now. And different phases in my life took me higher and higher. And then I found out that I was kind of smart. I wasn't really dumb. I was smart. And I didn't know the changes and the challenge my life went, where the winds blow me this way. Why I'm going this way? Why I'm going that way? Because I'm from the boot hill. I'm from the cotton fields. So we know nothing about the big cities and all the bright lights. And so everything sort of excited me, but that was not me. And so I ended up going to the church, and the Lord gave my life to the Lord and received the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I never gave up, and it's still like that today. And my life has went. And then when I got to, we moved down to Macon, Georgia. And I said, wow, it seems different. But I'm a Southern person. I'm not a Northern person. I'm a Southern person. And I'm rural soil. So when I got back to the soil, my feet stepped back on the South soil. And it just always has been there. And I always felt like I can make a difference in somebody else's life because God made a difference in my life. Even if you got kids and whatever else, you just don't know where God can take you if you let him. And then so when I started having youth crusades, and then I'm always going after women with a lot of children. I feel like I was charged to help other women as myself, because others helped me. And then so I asked a pastor, let me use a bus, and we would go around to different buses, and the bus filled up so fast. And then I found myself back with a whole lot of children that I was trying to get away from all my life. And so I said, okay, but then the children were just like me. And they latched on to me, and my ministry started out Youth Crusade Ministries. And the Youth Crusade Ministry, we was having up around Macon area. And then we had nothing else to start having Youth Crusade at the Coliseum in Macon. But anyway, with by 12 cities, and kids just came together. And that's how my ministry started out in the community and working with one mother, one parent, one grandmother. And before we know it, we had a whole bunch of children. And we started inviting and asking pastors to let us come into the church. But it was an outreach in the community. We wasn't in the church, but we ended up going to the church, but it was out in the field where we need to be. And so like I said, I'm a field worker, so I had to go back to the fields and work. I couldn't do it inside the house. I didn't feel comfortable sitting in the pulpit with my high heels on when I need to be in the field.
Wow.
And so from the field that God blessed me is how they need a worker. They need someone to become a miracle worker in a federal program in my hometown. And it's called the Empowerment Zone. But right then it was the Chris Dooley Partnership, and they had just got this empowerment program, and they need a miracle worker to come in to help implement the plan. And I went down and applied for the job, and guess what? We got it. I got the job, and I was so excited. So when they gave me the miracle, put me in that field, and that miracle goes back in the community. I'm already doing that, so I was already hyped. And so we went on. We worked from Chris and Dooley County, one kid and whatever. And we stayed in education because kids, and we became a partner with the school system because the school system needed help with the kids. And we started with homework. We started with everything else. So that's how I started. And then USDA gave me the national award for its AmeriCorps across the nation, and out of 1,000 AmeriCorps workers from 38 states of the United States. And we kept on going. And then we started our own nonprofit in 1999. And then we didn't have no place to go. But then I was doing work that I even know I was doing. I was setting up a family resource centers, which was already working in the nation, but I didn't know. They found me. Everybody finds me. And so one of the funeral home men, Mr. J.W. Williams, had a little old big white house, and he let me have it for our first resource centers. It was about a 3-room house. But the parents and grandparents, we felt so proud to have our own place. And so we got in a little house and the kids filled it up and started out. But I didn't know we had hooked up to a national program, and we was doing exactly what the national was calling for, that family support, to support family, get involved with family. And so in other words, if I'm hurting, then another mother was hurt. But we started out with that in family support, family resource center through USDA, AmeriCorps program. With the Chris Dooley partnership in our town, and we won, and we kept going, and we stayed to partner with our school system. So we still are partner with the school system today, working with after school children and working to help bring in English language, art, and math. And we have now, I think, 16 other organizations that are replicating what we're doing as social entrepreneurs. And that's cutting it short, but that's a whole lot up in there. And then we end up getting an award for somebody heard from me from the Thomas Jefferson Award, which is one of the highest awards you can get for community service. And we was in the math, and we was in there working. And before that, I told the school system I need some help with tutors, because we don't know this math that we learning. And so the school system, Beta Club, sends us over tutors over there to help us learn it, help us to learn our lessons. So, and those kids came over, and they were diverse. We had all kinds of children coming over there helping us out. And they helped us out, and that was in 2015. And we have continued on now with we are stakeholder, community stakeholder with education with our kids. And we have a good outline, and we'll talk about that later. But we got with the school system, and the school system let us become a stakeholder. And that's where we learned how the other mothers and mothers and grandmothers, they are good mothers and good grandmothers. They're just not part of society like we want to be. But we are now.
Wow. Well, I listen, my hat's off to you. I am just amazed at your story and how your life changed and evolved and grew, and how you touched others, and how your children just fell right in with the purpose of God for your life and their lives as well. I am so excited, Evangelist Watkins. Wanted to ask you, and you may have answered it, but I wanted to restate it for our audience. How many years have you been serving your community, and what changes have you seen since you started serving in the community?
I started this working in our rural areas where we are now in 1995. And it's been 25 years. We celebrated 25 years last month. And the change that I see that others don't see, the kids that you call bad kids, they're not bad. Those kids are going on working. Some of them go to college. And I went to the post office, and then the young lady at the post office, one of the little bit of children in my program, now she's a postmaster. And I see other young guys are in other school and other good job, and they are doing some things. And I haven't seen any in jail. I haven't seen any on drugs, and they all call me mom. And so what I did, I kept a picture of all those kids for 25 years, and we just did a museum. Like I put a museum up with all those kids, and now they have kids, and they're able to pass it on to their kids. And so, but the world don't know about the hidden, and we call ourselves heaven invisible. We are good women. We are poor women, and we are low, what they call us low income women, but we the best women you can find to work with. And I think about in the church, we are the kind of women that we done built a whole lot of churches, but on building fund projects, and we ain't seen a building yet, but we done worked a whole lot of them. And then we the one that wasn't no fundraiser, but we can take a chicken dinner, we can sell the hot dogs and everything here to help meet the need for the church. So if we can do that for the church, can we do it for our community and ourselves to lift ourselves up? And so the skills came through the church, because I mean, for night and day service, we didn't know just whatever. We got skills that we didn't even know that we had, and God had to bring those skills forth and let us know that we are stronger than we actually feel like we're strong. And so God prepared us to meet the need, and all the federal money at that time went to the hood. They came to the hood to get us. They hired a mother from the hood, and there was a song that they sang, so when I make it, I'm gonna bring the whole hood with me. And then because all the kids, and so I'm working in an area that where the nation said we need to be working. You need to go where the problems are. You can't solve the problem if you're too scared to go in the neighborhood where they are. But they surround me all around with nothing but these little bad children. And so we took them to the park. They never been to the swimming pool. We took them to places they never been before. And then when they was in school, then we make sure when they get out of school, they got a place to come. The grandmother's there, the great grandmother there, and the deacons are there. And that's how we started our Family Resource Center. And they said they were telling other kids in the school, in the center, in the school when they got out of school, said, do y'all know about that center down the street? And they said, what center? And they looked around, we had more kids than we can realize, but it was built upon those kids. And they said, you had the baddest kids in the neighborhood, but them the kind I want.
Wow, wow. I mean, you have such an amazing story and so full of experiences and how you touch people. What can you tell us some of the programs that you've offered over the years through the Family Development Task Force?
Yeah, we had education, which is core number one. And then we had a computer technology lab. Atlanta, from the state of Atlanta, came down, Tech Core, Georgia. And we didn't have computers when they first came out. Tech Core, Georgia came down, and we had a room that we had gotten from the housing authority. And they brought all the computers down for the family and did a computer training. And they gave all the parents the computers when they had to take the computer class in order to get the computer. And so they took the class, and Tech Core, Georgia put computers in everybody home that was in our program. And then there's other Family Support America with training the parents and bringing us to Chicago. They said they heard about us in Chicago, and they sent me 10 scholarships to bring parents to Chicago to share what we was doing down here. And we got that part, and then we had parenting classes and other thing with Morehouse College. Morehouse College gave us a 5-year grant with the fatherhood program. And then we did that program to help with the relationships and stuff like that with the kids, the family. And we worked that program. And then we also we got a 5-core program in there. And then all of the federal information that's supposed to come down to poor women, we don't get it. But I get the information, make sure that we up on stuff. So in other words, that's our resource and educating us. What is they ask us to do in education? We can't do what you want us to do unless we have the right information. So we got the right tools and the right information, and we are connected up with DCA. What is it? DCA, Department of Community Affairs. And so we partner with the community affairs, and the community affairs, and we have kids that are tutor within our program from 9th grade to 12th grade and have 300 hours, then the state of Georgia give them recognition when they graduate from high school. And so now we're doing on Tuesday and Thursday in our center. We got a very nice center. The Lord has blessed us to be a part of the community center down there. They gave us a training room. I got my own office, girl. I got my own office there.
Great. I
got my
love
own
it.
office. And on Tuesday and Thursday, we do math tutoring and English language art tutoring. And the tutors come in to help us. We're not saying we know everything, but we know somebody who knows who we don't know.
Wow, that is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Now that's the entire community coming together to better the community. And I love that. I love it. I love it. I wanted to ask you, you said earlier that you had volunteers. Wanted to know for our audience and maybe those who want to participate in assisting you, what are the basic requirements for volunteers to serve with the Family Development Task Force, Evangelist Watkins?
Well, we ask that the parents and grandparents and great-grandparents, those parents that come with the children, they also volunteer to help us do what we got to do it. And we does everything. We do writing, I do administration, we got products that we didn't put out, we want to put out to other people. But the administration and stuff like that, they also turns over and give me whatever kind of help and service that we need. So we become networkings of one another and helping one another in our skills. And then you'd be surprised how the skills that other parents have, because other parents will come to our center in education, but they won't go to another place because they feel like they can't do it because they don't know enough. You know enough. And you know enough to come in here and sit down with your kids, and we prepare everything. And the Chamber of Commerce gave us a big, nice TV, so we can go virtual. We go virtual, and we know that. And then the Beta Club students came in, and when they started coming in, we had Indian, we had white, we had Black. And we had diverse number of tutors that come from our Beta Club. And the Beta Club students came in 2015, and they really treated us like we was leaders. They treat us like we were somebody. And then, so in other words, and so you make us feel, make the women, those women that feel like they need to be encouraged and lifted up. This is the place to come. We don't have to, we don't sit at home, we don't watch soap operas, we don't do all this here. We are waiting for our kids when they get out of school. And so those women that have that type of volunteer, and then we work whether we got grant monies or not. You're not coming to say, I want a grant money, I want this here. Well, we got money, we does, but we doing campaign now because we need funding for tutors and resources and stuff like that. And the tutors, they come to volunteer, but we need supplies and things to supply for them. And I think recently we was able to give some students some laptops. And from our money, we donated that because we need a lot of computers and stuff like that we're working on. So we're working on donation to help us to get the tools and things that we need. But we got the teenagers to come in to help us. But the table is spread. You come here, you got to be able to want to work with mothers and grandmother and great grandmother. And you'd be surprised at those skills that sits in the house every day that nobody knows that somebody can use. And you're usable. God can use you. You know, if nothing but you sit at the door and open the door and smile and tell the kids, come on in. There's something that you can do. So we build upon one another's strength. And one strength from one mother to another strength, it brings us all in to help our community, because we're here to help build strong families. We're not losers. We probably thought we was losers, but we found out God said we're not losers. We're winners.
Amen. No, that was beautiful. You know, building off of each other's strength.
Yeah.
If we could do that as a whole, I mean, in our community, nationally and internationally, it would change the atmosphere of this world. It would change the world's negative conditions, you know, because when we come together, we're able to rise up. We're strengthened in numbers. And it's amazing to me that people haven't figured that out, or do they not want us to figure it out so we cannot rise up? You know what I mean? Because we're trying to rise up, and it looks like you've dedicated a large portion of your life to empowering other people, and you've sowed seeds into so many people in your community. And that is a beautiful thing that you were able to make an impact. I mean, just listening to your story and your rise and your prize, it inspires me to keep pressing forward to make a difference in other people's lives, you know, and I love when you said, hey, even if we don't have the funding, we make a way. We come together to help the children, to help the families, and even giving the parents a voice, letting them be involved. I think that's very, very, very powerful. I mean, what do you think, Yama?
I think it is amazing. It's a solid foundation. It's a solid mindset that gets that going. You can never fail when you're doing what you're doing from the heart, number one. You understand? And that's what I see you're doing. You are doing it from the heart. And look at the fruit that has been given back with you doing it from the onset, from your heart. You know, when you went in, I was listening at your story. You said you from the Boo Hill, you know, from you know, picking cotton in the cotton fields. Your thing was the heart, nothing else. You wanted to help, and God saw your heart. You know, man looks at the outward appearance, but God looks at the heart. He saw your heart, which was the seed, which gave foundational fertilization to the growth of where you are. And I am speechless. I am speechless about having the honor to meet you, having the honor to talk to you, having the honor to learn from you. I am speechless. I am so honored. I think it is amazing.
Thank you.
And you're still here. You're still here to share with us the goodness of God and your life. That is so beautiful. And the lives that you've touched. You can't tell me there is not a God. You can't.
Yes. And just the positive motivation. I mean, you're sharp, and you know, you said, hey, we didn't know that much, but you knew enough to take the next step and the next step and the next step. And you've had funding from the government, from prestigious colleges like Morehouse and Georgia Tech. You know, they came into your facility and donated the computers and set up the labs to give to the families. I mean, that is helping to take the family to the next level, you know, to be able to compete, to be able to do the things online with their children. A lot of schooling is done online. I mean, these kids, have assignments that you would think they're given to these elementary school students are getting like high school type assignments, where they have to do this level of research and, and not to exclude libraries, but people now, they just go to Google and they look up what they need to look up and they research. So that's so awesome that these families were given those computers so they can have accessibility to the things that they may not have been, been able to get, to get to, because maybe the library isn't close by, or just the time frame that it takes to try to find information and to be able to just go on the computer and be provided one. That's an awesome thing that your program is doing. Now, now I actually recently read that you performed a year's worth of service in 6 months. How did you do that? And what are some of the strategies that you put in place to accomplish such a goal?
Well, but we started out at the time that we started out with USDA during that time. That's what got us the award out of 38 states. Like I said, we took out, we found out, they gave us the instruction and told us what we need to do, and they let me use my own energy and look at the plan and then put everything together to make it work, and we did that. And then we went to the school system, let us in there with the middle school and teen pregnancy prevention and education out teen pregnancy prevention. And so the middle school, so I went into the schools and they gave us time to talk with the kids and whatever and stuff like that. But all the goals and everything that we had to do, we know what we want. I just want the parents, everybody to know that women know what we know. We don't know what we want to have, but we don't know how to get there. If you give me the tools, we'll plow the field up. As I said, the seeds and stuff like that. Just let me know what field, because when you're speaking cotton, I'm gonna put this in here. When you're picking cotton, we go from one field to the other one. We in all these different fields. We in a different field from the other. But we have so many schools. If I listen to you, I can put it on paper and plug it out and map it out, and we go from A to Z. And they said, well, how did you do that? Well, you tell me I need that. So we take it in and put it there and give what we need in our home. A lot of people don't give us the respect to know what we need. They tell us what we need, but you telling me what we need is not what we need. But when we sit there and tell you what we need and can we do this here, and you help us to meet those needs, it works out better. So all the tools came and all the kids came, the mothers came, and we did it, and they let me come into the schoolhouses with the kids, and we did workshop sessions and everything else. And we did that and felt good about doing that. And then that's when everybody the other mothers came out the house. We can do it too. But we can do it then, and then and we had so many kids, and during that time, and the kids went back and told other kids, so really did. They went and said, man, we found a place. Can you come to the program? I had so many kids, we couldn't let somebody in. And then we started going to field trips in McDonald's. And we paid for everything. And the kid, when the bus took out to go to McDonald's, we were so many kids. I said, where you come from? And I said, I haven't seen you in the program. They told me about you. I said, okay. So they started, word of mouth is the best thing you can do to reach parents like myself. Because a lot of information not getting to the parents that need it, but I know what that parent is that need to help. So let us go out there and reach that parent. It's just like revival, old time, good time revival. This is the new 21st century. They're not coming up there. You're not doing putting no tent up and whatever. You got to go and help and meet that person where they are, and they are in their homes. And then we're putting resources into the house. Now, whatever that parent needs, we're making sure that she got pencils, she got paper, she got everything in there. And now I'm looking for to make sure that every parent has a computer in their home. And that's what our money goes back to, building up the homes and the family so they can love education. My house like a university. My grandbabies come to my house, they go there on the shelf, they pull a book. I got a 2-year-old, he trying to learn how to work that computer. And so they are smart, because that's the way it is now. But your house has to look like what you're trying to get done. Your child, you have an education, you haven't got a pencil in the house, you ain't got a book in the house, you ain't got none of that stuff. So there's no way you can meet that need and help the school system meet those goals if you don't have those tools that you need in your house to meet those goals. So we get those tools and get those tools. So we highly, and then when I found out, I know how to write grants too, girl. I learned a whole lot of stuff. And then I learned how to capacity. I know how I have helped about 50 companies get their 501 state and federal capacity building. So we teach capacity building, how to work with us, how to deal with us in your church. And so, so in other words, every church should have an education department that those women are doing right there in your church. How many idle women you said and sitting right in the church ain't got nothing to do? I ain't never had the problem where I ain't had nothing to do. Never. And then we got our own plan. You always say our own strategic plan, got a bad plan. Now, if the plan won a national. So I put my plan together, and they said, you got to send your plan up to the state of Georgia, Executive Order 372. You got to send it up there. So they got to okay what you want to do in the state of Georgia. We sent it in there and won. They said, oh, these plans and goals, they go right along what's going on in our region. So we are regional goals. So what we're doing is not just Chris County where we are, but we are regional connected in the Southeast region, which covers 12 states.
Wow. Wow.
And so the infrastructure, I know how to lay all that, and I have done that. And if you're not sincere about what you want to do, and then get that infrastructure where you can do what you got to do, then you're gonna be mad at us, because we are like construction workers in the family support field.
Wow. When I tell you, Evangelist Watkins, you are one amazing woman. You are an amazing woman. I am inspired. I am encouraged.
Thank you.
Yeah. I am moved. Like, I want to run and conquer the world right about now. I mean, you truly are an encouragement for, I mean, you are just amazing. You're amazing, hands down. You are literally amazing. I can't even find another word in my vocabulary. And I too, I'm a writer and I love to speak, but to even match who you are and what stance you have in your community and how smart you are and how, how strategic you are with how you do, like, you were talking about plowing. You were strategic with plowing with where you're trying to go, and or where you are, not where you're trying to go, because baby, you're there. You understand? You are there. You are there. And I thank you for sharing that. We as a community need what you have. What you have, we need that. And thank you so much for sharing with us. I do have the honor, but I don't know if it's so much of an honor, because I don't know if I ever want to stop talking to you, but I do have the honor of asking you, I believe, the last question. How can our audience connect with the Family Development Task Force?
You can connect with us through Facebook and we have a web page, Family Development Task Force web page. And I can give you your number, give my number 251. When the reason why I got an Alabama number, because like I said, I'm regional. 251 402 4126. You can call me. And then we help leaders and pastors to please open the door and let education come into your church. And we are here to come and give you all the tools you need. And we will educate your parents or grandparents. And we are social entrepreneurs in the social field. And they can go to our webpage, and they can go to Family Development Task Force Facebook page, and you can meet us there. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we just want to thank you so much for being on Beautiful People Connect. We appreciate you taking the time to share your story, your rise, and your prize that you've accomplished. Now, you have one other prize before we take it out, and I just want you to let the people know the prestigious award for 25 years of service that you recently just received. Can you just share that with the audience? I mean, they need to know this one. I mean, you have so many awards. Like you talked about the Jefferson Award. I mean, you had the award from the USDA AmeriCorps. I mean, you just win awards. You've made history. Yeah. So, but before we leave, I just want you to share, because our theme is the story, right? You've told the story. You've told the rise. Yes. And we talked about some prizes, but this most recent one that you just received, please share with our audience what that was.
I got a call to come to the city commissioner meeting, at one of our commissioner meetings, and they had a plan for me, and I did not know what they're going to do. And when I got there, they was giving out presentation to the elderly, and those that worked in the community. And I'm sitting up there clapping my hands and just glad that they're getting awards. And then looked around, and they came and said we had one more award. And they looked at me and they called my name out. And I just flipped. There was a proclamation of the work I'd done in the 25 years here in the community. And then they gave me declared February the 22nd as Rosie Watkins Day. And I just went out like a lightning. I was speechless then. I was speechless because my community is my heart and all those families. And we have done good in our community. And I want to continue to be that good one there. And I'm 73. And I said, well, I'm still can't sit down. And but God renews my strength every day. But just letting the community know that we are there to help out. We have been there to help out. And then they said, what you going to do on that day? That day? Well, coming up February 22nd, I want to have all of the mothers and grandmothers to gather up all your grandbabies and all your great grandbabies and all your children. And we're going to have a festival called This Is Our Festival. This is our time for us to come and show our kids love. Everywhere, all over, from different counties and wherever I touch, bring your babies and grandbabies here and let them see that we care about them and the community care about them. And it's just a day of a love day, appreciation day. And our company was built on kids, and that you said it was the baddest kids in the neighborhood. And so I said, when I rise, I bring the hood with me. So you're going to see what the hood is. And they don't even know what the hood is. There's so many beautiful people in the hood, they ain't never met the hood. And so all these babies that when I got started, now they're school teachers, and these bad kids have a life. They have a life that they're living, and they're going to be there. And we're going to honor them and thank all the kids that came through the program. I want to see their kids. I want to see them, and knowing that never forget that low income, poor people, we have skills and we have some stuff to give back to the community to let you know we're here. We're not invisible. We're here. And so my skills that I've learned, many skills, capacity building skills, and that's what the grant was at Morehouse College, to help build my capacity to run a nonprofit organization. And we have run that nonprofit organization for 25 years. Awesome. And you'll see more of the things that we does when you come to that meeting. Come there February 22nd, Rosie Watkins Day. You're going to see something that's been here, and you're going to say, wow, because people want to be people. We want at the table, we're good people. And then, but everybody in the community makes a difference. Everybody, field worker, intellectual workers, I don't care what you hear. And then I want to bless all the churches, because you have a part as well. But because I came through the church, and the church helps me. And then, so you can't do it. Let's come back and receive all good news. We just sharing good news. No bad news, all good news. And then let the good news, you tell it about the good news. But I'm 73 now, and I've been like this for 73 years. And I came from the cotton field, so I'm rural soil. Anybody didn't know, they said, well, we think she came from the north. Well, I went north, but I had to come back south because my soil within which I worked was from the south. And I know more about the south than I do anything else. But there's a lot of things that are happening, a lot of good people. And I just want to let the good people know God is with us. He's bringing good news. And it's He that has made us and not we ourselves. And He has not forgotten about you. In Him we live and have our being.
Amen. Well, that was beautiful. And thank you so much for joining Beautiful People Connect. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you were inspired or motivated by this event, we invite you to like and follow us on social media at BPRU, and that is Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Beautiful People Rise Up. And you can also follow us on Eventbrite at Beautiful People Rise Up. We also list our upcoming events on our website, www.beautifulpeopleriseup.org. Now, I do want to say something special to all our donors. We just want to thank you to all the people who gifted Beautiful People Rise Up with donations. Our media content, events, and outreach empowerment services are made possible by donations. If you would like to partner with us to make the world a better place by creating positive and innovative content and services, you can make donations on our website at www.beautifulpeopleriseup.org. Thank you to all of our global viewers for tuning in to Beautiful People Connect. We hope that you were inspired and most of all motivated to action in your own lives. You have something special to give to the world. So hopefully you stand up and stand out to make a positive impact on people. Until next time, connect, charge, and let's rise up to light the world together. Have a beautiful day, beautiful people. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, wow.
people